Okay, we are officially going. Thank you, Corey. Have a great yoga session today.
Thank you, Dr. Elmer. All right, hello everyone and welcome to this yoga class with me today, Corey. I have something fun planned as I was kind of mentioning. We'll be doing what's called a booty yoga. I did one video so far yesterday, so we're just gonna see how it goes. But yep, this video of up and moving with me, Corey, my kitties, that hopefully they don't bug us too much today, because this one, it just involves a little bit more of like little movement. So I think it is kind of like playing in with the Pilates a little bit as well that I've been doing videos with. So yeah, it's just gonna be fun. I'm gonna do my best to teach this. But all that you will really need is a mat. If you have maybe some pillows or need something for balance, we will be doing a little bit of balance work in here as well. So just kind of personal preference. I think if you've been watching my videos recently, that it's really all about personal preference, what you're comfortable with. I'm gonna let Deb in here. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of see how it goes today. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna end the recording right away just so then everything's kind of done. Hello, Deb. We don't have Dr. Elmer for tech support today, so I'm kind of just winging it. But I'll just get into right after the recordings. I'm just gonna end them. If you do have any questions, feel free to email me. My email is Corey, COREYM @mtu.edu. So feel free to email me. But I think from there, just go ahead, get on your mat. I'm gonna get my music going. And actually, we're gonna be starting in a seated position. So go ahead, sit down, get comfortable. This disconnect from this did. Tony, go lay down somewhere. So yeah, just go ahead and get yourself in a nice seated position here with me. I did have everything set up. I'm gonna get my timer going for myself. So make sure we're keeping time with everything. Prompting Tony to lay down right there. Anyways, just get yourself in a nice seated position. Roll those shoulders back. Keep the chest nice and open. Relax the hands. And just start grounding yourself for today's practice. Focusing on that breath with me. And just in case anyone missed my little intro, I did this yoga, it'll be a little bit different. We'll be having some little movements in there with each pose. Go through my best to explain everything. All right, but on your next inhale, feel free to lift your hands nice up and high towards the sky. You can kind of interlock them with whatever's comfortable for you. And go ahead and start leaning over to the right side, getting a nice side stretch in the left side of the body. And we'll get into our first little movement here that makes this booty yoga kind of leading with that left shoulder. We're going to kind of bring it in a little bit. So we're kind of crunching that side body, really engaging those side muscles there. So they're going to crunch in, and then we're just going to bring the shoulder out a little bit to whatever's comfortable. You know, don't overextend it, but so bringing the shoulder in forward, back out, in and back out. We're warming up those side muscles here, really engaging that core. That's another big thing that I noticed with this type of yoga. Lots of core engagement. We will get those 6 packs before summer hits. And of course, just kind of flowing with it at your own pace. right, on an inhale, feel free to relax that, kind of shake the arms out a little bit. And on an inhale, bring the arms out straight to your sides. Cross them over the body to where both hands are holding on to those shoulders. Feel free to kind of pull down on the shoulders a little bit too. So you're opening up that back. Lift the head up, open that neck, getting a nice forward stretch in the neck here. And just take a couple of nice deep breaths here for me. All right, on an inhale, feel free to slightly just release slowly. You can go ahead and do some head circles to kind of shake that out a little bit. Release the arms. We're going to go over and do the other side. So again, on an inhale, lifting those arms up nice and high to the sky. That's a little hard to see, but kind of just bringing your hands together, whatever is comfortable, you can interlock them. But we'll go on over to the left side here, getting a nice stretch in that side body, the right side body. And again, we're going to incorporate that movement where we're bringing the right shoulder forward a little bit and back. So forward and back, keeping that side body engaged. Warming up our core. All right, on an inhale, feel free to relax that. And again, we're going to bring the arms out towards our sides before crossing them in front of us, resting them on our shoulders, really kind of trying to pull those down as much as we can away from our ears, but then lifting up the head. On your next inhale, start to just kind of release that. Again, go into some light head circles. We're going to get into those neck stretches I've been having in my last couple videos. I don't know what it is about those neck stretches. I just really like them. I feel like in general, almost all of us might tend to hold all of our stress in the shoulders. It's such a great way to release that. And so back into kind of a neutral position, make sure you're again sitting up nice and tall, nice straight back. I'm going to take my right hand first, lift it up and over my head so it's nice and touching my ear. And I'm going to bring that right ear down towards my shoulder, getting that nice stretch starting in my side neck here. And I'm going to bring my left hand just out at my side. Another option with the hand is to put it behind the back, excuse me. You get a little bit of a deeper stretch in that neck muscle. All right, and go ahead and adjust the head, bring that chin down to the chest. Adjust your hand so it's a little bit more towards the back of your head. And again, give that a nice light little pull. So now you're feeling that stretch just a little bit more towards the back of the neck. All right, on an inhale, release. We're gonna go on over into the other side. So again, taking our left hand, crossing it over our head to meet our right ear. Dropping that left ear to the shoulder. Hand nice and extended out. Getting another nice stretch on the other side of our neck. And again, feel free to move that hand behind the back for a little bit of a deeper stretch. And then finally dropping that chin down to the chest and adjusting your hand, getting a little bit of a deeper stretch more towards the back of the neck. All right, on an inhale, feel free to release that as well. We're gonna get into a back neck stretch here really quick. So bringing those hands, interlocking them behind the head here, elbows out at our sides. We're gonna bring those elbows in and then just lightly drop the chin down to the chest. Just until, you don't wanna like super pull on your neck, of course, but just until you feel a nice light little tug. All right, on an inhale, release that. We'll get into a couple side twists here. So I'm taking my right hand first, crossing it over to my left knee, and just gently twisting. And as you're here, start to kind of, again, engage that core, but just to kind of start rounding your body a little bit, counterclockwise, counterclockwise. You know, just adding in that little extra movement, engaging the core, because we will be getting into some more core work here in just a little bit. Now, if you can't really do this little movement, that's all right. Just sitting here in that nice twisted position, perfect. But again, just adding that little extra movement in, kind of what makes Uti yoga. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but that's fine. On an inhale, feel free to release that. We're gonna go on and go over into the other side. Just taking the left hand, crossing it over to the right knee, getting a nice side twist here. And with this one, we're gonna go clockwise, circular motions with the really engaging that core. And these don't have to be like over the top movements that we're doing during this practice. Just little bits of movement, kind of getting that cardio in there. You'll see a little bit more what I'm talking about in some of the flows coming up. So, okay, 22. All right, feel free to relax that. And go ahead and find yourself in your plank position. So now with that, you want your hands nice and under your shoulders here. Now you got two options for this. Also, you can go up straight on your toes. You want to make sure that with this, your back and your core nicely engaged. You do have the option of going onto your knees, but again, too, you want to make sure just your body is nice and in line. Tuck your bottom in, engage the core. So whichever variation you choose today, feel free to go with that one. We're just going to kind of hold it here for just a couple seconds, really start engaging that core. We're really getting into some core work today. Just hold it here with me for a couple more seconds. We got this. Getting those 6-packs ready for summer. Me, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Feel free to, if you need to, you can always drop down to your knees and give me a child's pose whenever you need. But from here, though, we're going to go up into our first down dog. We will be getting into a child's pose right after this. Kind of give ourselves a little bit of a rest. So from here, you do have, our traditional down dog. If you need to, again, feel free to go onto your knees. Give us a nice puppy pose here. Whatever's comfortable for you and your body. But just go ahead and start pedaling out the feet. Try to get your feet as flat on the floor as possible, but don't worry if they don't fully get flat. I know when I'm first waking up my body is not super flexible. I am not like one of those women on social media where I just instantly can do a handstand. And that's not always what yoga is about either. But you're gonna kind of even lean over to each shoulder, really warming up the body here. And then I think I showed this in previous videos too, but another one I like to do is to bend my knees. Again, engage that core. If you are coming from your knees, you can go ahead and kind of hover your knees over the floor a little bit. But I like to rotate the body. Again, warming up that core. And then kind of from here, feel free to drop down on your knees. Bring your feet together. Sit it back into a child's pose. You don't have to fully rest your head down on the floor, but whatever's comfortable for you. Arms can be out at whatever length. And on an inhale, feel free to raise it back up. From here, this is where we're going to get into a little bit more of our work. So again, from here, find your plank position. We're going to do a couple of, they're called like chaturanga push-ups in yoga, but also just kind of regular push-ups. So go ahead and I want you to give me 5 good push-ups to the best of your ability. When you're done with those 5, either hold it in your strong plank. If you got to drop down to your knees, take a child's pose, go right ahead. But give me 5 nice push-ups and we'll meet back in our strong plank position. So here we go. I'm going to count mine out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take a minute. If you need to go down in a child's pose, please take that. If not, just gonna hang out here for just a sec before we're gonna go back into our down dog. So when you're ready, meet me in down dog, puppy position. Again, pedal out those feet. And from here, I'm gonna take my left leg first. So either inhale, lift the leg up and step it through your hands. Otherwise, just step your left leg through your hands. If you need a little bit more of a deeper lunge, feel free to grab that foot. And then just from here, drop that back leg, untuck the toes, and inhale. Lift the body up, stacking those shoulders on top of hips. Hands nice up towards the sky with me. You want to kind of push those hips forward, but keeping them in line. You don't want to be kind of lopsided or anything. Nice and squared with the mat. That knee isn't past your toe. You have to adjust a little bit. Feel free to adjust. And even from here, you can go ahead and drop the hands. Bring them behind your back, interlock them, and just try to push that chest open a little bit more. Keeping that head nice and up, looking towards the sky. All right, on an inhale, feel free to release that. You can bring the arms back on up. Exhale, extend that front leg. Go ahead, walk your hands down towards it. You can rest your hands on the floor, wherever's comfortable, but it's like a half split stretch. You can keep your foot, your front foot, toes on the ground if you want. You'll feel a nice stretch kind of in the top of the leg here. If you need to lift up those toes, go ahead. From right here, you'll feel a nice stretch, a little bit more in the back of the calf. Grab onto your toes. All right, on an inhale, find that forward lunge again. And we're just gonna drop the hands on the inside of the foot. So if you have to adjust your foot out to the side, feel free to do that. Now you can either hang out here, kind of having your front body resting on your hands. To get into a deeper stretch with this one, you can drop down onto the forearms here. Really whatever's comfortable for you. And I hope that during the videos that I teach, I preach, listen to your body, because whatever's comfortable for you is okay. I hope all these variations that I'm giving are within the range that everybody is in, so, or at least mostly everybody. All right, on an inhale, feel free to, if you were down on your forearms, lift the body back up. I'm gonna have to adjust my foot a little bit, but on an inhale then, reaching those arms back up towards the sky. We're back in that crescent lunge here. But feel free to drop the hands back down around the foot. Tuck the toes underneath the back foot, lift that knee up. Step your left foot to meet your right and go ahead and lower the body down to the ground for exhaling. Inhale, lift the chest up, look up towards the sky. And then exhale, lifting back up into our down dog. We're gonna go ahead and go through the other side with that. So either stepping your right foot between your hands or lifting up, giving me a three-legged dog for a little bit. Stepping that foot between the hands. Again, adjust accordingly to what's comfortable for you. Dropping that back knee. Inhale, lifting the arms up into a nice low crescent lunge. Again, really activating that core. Keeping everything nice and strong. Go ahead and lower the arms. You can cross them behind them. Just open that chest up a little bit more. Bringing the head back a little bit as well. And then inhale, feel free to release. Again, we're going to extend that front leg out. Bring the chest a little bit forward. And an inhale, bring it back into our crescent lunge here. Bringing the body forward again, bending that front knee. From here, go ahead and drop the hands down. Adjust your foot accordingly. And again, you can just hang out, resting your upper body on your hands, or go ahead and dropping down to the forearms here, adjusting your body accordingly. I know with my front leg, I tend to bring it out to the side a little bit more. All right, on an inhale, start lifting that body up onto our hands. You can go ahead and just put both hands, one on each side of the foot. We're going to tuck the toes into the back one, lift that back leg up, step our right to meet the left, and go ahead and just lower your body down. Inhale, lifting the chest up so we're in cobra. And exhale, down dog, and feel free to meet me here. And you can kind of just start walking your feet up to meet your hands, or you can walk your hands back to meet your feet. Either way, get into a nice standing position. For me, I'm going to turn to so I'm facing the camera. And go ahead and just get your feet in a comfortable distance apart. That's more than hips width distance apart. And we'll be hanging out here in a forward fold. So go ahead, you can just rest your hands on the floor. You can try and grab your ankles. If you have a pillow or something around, this would be a great place for that. You need a little extra lift off the ground, but we're just hanging out in a forward fold. And you can go ahead and grab opposite elbows and start swishing side to side. Feel kind of like a pendulum. Just try to relax. All right, if you were swinging like I was, feel free to get back into the nice neutral middle position. We're gonna inhale, give me a half back, half raise. You know how we do, and I call it like our swan dive flow. Give me a half back. Exhale, bring it back into a forward fold. And inhale, lift the hands up towards the sky with me. We'll kind of go through that again one more time before we get into another little bit of a flow. But exhale, bring it back down into a forward fold. Inhale, half raise, flat back. Exhale, back down into a forward fold. And inhale, lifting up towards the sky. You can go ahead and just kind of let your arms flow down a little bit, because the next pose that we're going to get into is what's called the goddess pose. And so from right here, we're honestly just kind of doing like a squat. But again, keeping that nice, strong core, knees bent. You don't want your knees to go past your toes, so make sure you're not having that go on. Have our arms nice and strong at our side. Kind of a nice little warm up before we get into our warrior two poses here. And so from this nice strong pose, again, we're going to activate that core and go side to side with me, like someone's pulling strings on each side of your body. And this time they're actually getting you to move a little bit, but then one person goes one way, then the other one goes the other way. Keep it nice and strong with me. Couple more seconds here. All right, feel free to go back in that nice neutral position. Go ahead and extend the legs. And from here, I'm going to turn my left leg out first. Put a nice little bend in that front leg. And would you look at that? We're in our warrior two pose. And we're going to do the same thing that we did in the goddess pose. Core engaged. Give me a nice little side to side action going. And again, like I said, these movements don't have to be super big. You make of it what you want. All right, you can kind of slow it down. And after you give it a little nice tug towards your front bent leg, go ahead and reverse it back for me. Using that back hand as a guide with the leg. And remember, you don't want to put all your weight on it. Bringing that forward hand up over your head. Another good modifier for this is taking that bottom hand and wrapping it behind your back, giving yourself a little bit of a bind here. All right, on an inhale, you can go ahead and bring it forward. You can rest that left elbow on the right knee and bring the right hand up. Otherwise, go ahead and drop that. Drop the left hand down to the ground. Hand above. All right, on an inhale, bring it back up into our nice strong warrior two pose. Feel free to extend that front leg out. Bring the toes back, facing facing forward. For me, it's facing the camera. We're gonna go ahead over to our right foot. Point the toes out so they're in line with the mat. Give yourself a nice bend. Hands nice and strong at our sides here. And again, nice strong core. Give me that front and back movement. All right, the next time you go forward towards that bent leg, feel free to swoosh it on back, giving yourself a nice stretch in the side body, using that left hand, left leg as a guide. Right hand nice and up over the head. And again, another option is putting that left hand behind your back here. All right, on an inhale, feel free to bring that right elbow to the right knee, bringing that left hand up overhead. And again, another option is dropping that right hand down to the ground. All right, on an inhale, feel free to bring the body back up into our nice strong warrior two. Feel free to extend that bent leg now, bringing the toes back facing forward. So again, we're nicely facing forward. We'll go through a forward fold flow one more time. So inhaling, reaching up towards the sky with me. Exhale, swan diving it forward. Inhale, half raise, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, again, reaching up towards the sky with me. And exhale, just nice and strongly dropping those hands at our sides. From here, go ahead and bring your feet together. We're going to be going into some chair poses now. So I'll kind of give a little bit of a side view here. So kind of shake your legs out a little bit with me. Chair pose is challenging, but we're going to rock this together. And so go ahead on an inhale, start kind of dropping the bottom, honestly, like you're sitting in a chair. You want to try to keep your chest up as much as you can, bending those legs, feeling it nice and heavy in the heels of the feet. And also I have my feet kind of out at about a hip's width distance apart. So just kind of whatever's comfortable. But on an inhale, feel free to kind of bring it up, relax it a little bit. We'll kind of work our way into this just a little bit. So on an exhale, start sitting back into that chair, lifting the arms up, keeping the head up, chest up. And then you really don't want to put your body too much forward. I mean, we are going to get into a little bit of a flow with it here in a sec. But inhale, lift it back up, relax it. One more time. Exhale, dropping it back into the chair. Inhale, sitting it back up with me. We'll go into a little bit of a flow with it. Starting with our hands up though. So we're gonna exhale, sitting it back, kind of even bringing the hands kind of out towards our back. And then this is where we do kind of bring the chest almost all the way to the thighs here. But then inhale, extending it back into our nice straight pose. Exhale, bringing it back into that chair, dropping the chest this time, bringing everything kind of in line, arms in line. Inhale, extending it back into our nice upward position. Exhale, dropping it into chair. Inhale, standing straight back up. We'll do that one more time together. Exhale, dropping into the chair, dropping the chest. Inhale, nice straight, back on up. Okay, I hope everyone's quads are ready because again, we're gonna go back into that nice chair pose. You don't wanna, don't go too deep for this. This is gonna be kind of a little bit of an interesting, a little bit of a new pose for us, so don't go so deep into it. But we're gonna go ahead and lift the left leg up. So then we're balancing on that right one. We still have a nice little bend in that right one. So go ahead and start balancing it out with me. And now from here, if you're able to, we're gonna start moving that left leg kind of back and forth, kind of over our right knee. So kind of use that right knee as a guide. But we're gonna go to kind of making like upside down front roll. I was almost just gonna call it an upside down smiley face, but that's a frowny face. So we're gonna kind of make like a frowny face with that leg that we have up. And now, of course, if you're just here chilling, at least getting that balance in, perfect. You can add in the moving leg with me. Woo. And if you fall over or have to readjust a little bit, that's okay. That's the fun part about yoga. Stay nice and low with me. Whew. All right, go ahead and relax that leg next to your right one. Whew. That was really getting me today. Go ahead and shake that out. We'll go on over and do the left leg here, or right leg, excuse me. So go ahead, back into that nice strong chair position. Lifting up that right leg. We'll go ahead and add in that leg movement. And again, stay as nice and low on that left leg as you can with me. You can adjust the arms to bring them up in front. All right, feel free to drop that leg to meet the other one. Whew, shake that out with me a little bit. And from here, we will get into our laying portion, seated portion of our practice. So again, sit up nice and tall with me. Feet extended out in front of us. Go ahead and simply just do a nice and forward seated, a seated forward fold. Walk your hands out towards your feet, grab onto your feet, whatever's comfortable. Get that heart rate down a little bit. All right, go ahead and sit back on up with me. Go ahead and bend your right leg, so it's kind of in like a half crisscross applesauce seated position. Go ahead and lean out towards that left foot. Get a nice stretch in the left side. All right, go ahead and switch, extend that right leg out, bring the left one in, reach out towards your toes on this side. All right, go ahead and find your laying position. Ooh, knees brought into you. Give yourself a nice big hug. I know some of these weren't the easiest to do, but I'm so glad you guys did them with me today. I thought it was really fun. Go ahead, give your back a nice little massage. Forward and back, left to right. From here, I'm gonna extend my right leg out, cross the left leg over, look out towards the left, hand extended out as well. All right, go ahead and lift that back up, have the right leg meet the left one, another nice big hug. Go ahead and extend the left leg out, cross the right leg over, looking out towards the right, hand extended out. All right, go ahead and bring it back up to center, bring that left leg to meet the right one again. And from here, go ahead and get into a nice, comfortable laying position. We'll go into our Shavasana corpse pose here for a couple minutes. Again, do a nice, comfortable laying position. Just really start focusing on that breathing. You can do a couple of breaths together. So we'll inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now go ahead and breathe at a rate that's comfortable for you. Let go of any tension you may be holding on to. right. Feel free to start waking your body up. If you want to stay in this pose for a little bit longer, you can. But if not, start wiggling the fingers, the toes. Give yourself a nice big stretch. Oh. You can meet me in a nice seated position. Come a little bit closer to the camera because I always feel like I'm so far away. But thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope that was fun for you, as it's fun for me. I don't know, I saw that video yesterday after my coworker recommended it to me, and I was like, this is kind of changing my life, but this is also at a really hard level that's kind of hard for me, so I'm gonna modify it. But no, thank you guys so much for joining me. Our next workout is, tomorrow at 10, I'm pretty sure, haven't heard otherwise, the surprise workout. And I think other than that, that's really it. And again, I'm going to end the call right after this, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, coreym@mtu.edu. But as always, namaste. Thank you so much for joining me.